Very good morning, children. Welcome to session 4, Reaching the Age of Adolescence. Already in our previous session, we learned about this child marriage. That means what is meant by child marriage and what is the legal age for a marriage. That is 21 for girls and 23 for boys. And even we studied the characters of adolescence in the form of a checklist. And even we studied some more properties of adolescents, how they behave and what changes you can find in their body, physical changes, then behavioral changes, all things. And even we learned some information about hormones. Right now, let's come to know about this endocrine system. Endocrine system means this is also a kind of a gland, and these glands they release some chemical substances called hormones, and these hormones are responsible for all the changes, whatever the changes we can find in our body from our birth to death. We can find several changes. All these changes are because of these chemicals, and these chemicals can be called as hormones. See, when we take these hormones, say in the head region, we can find one important gland, that is a pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, and this gland can be otherwise called as a master gland. Master gland. Why means it can control the functions of remaining endocrine glands. Got it? Okay, that's why this pituitary gland can be otherwise called as a master gland, and where it is present just below the brain in our head. And then in the neck region, we can find one more gland that is called thyroid gland. Thyroid, and that thyroid gland release thyroxine. Thyroxine already, that means you will deal with all these hormones and endocrine glands in your 10th class, right? And attached to this thyroid gland, we can also find one more, that is a parathyroid gland. Parathyroid gland, and it releases a hormone called parathormone. And just above the kidneys, we can find one gland, adrenal gland, and it releases adrenaline, and which controls all the emotions. And just below this stomach, we can find a pancreas, and this pancreas is useful to the means it releases one hormone called insulin. Have you seen in your family or in your relatives or surroundings some people like sugar patients or diabetic patients, and they are taking tablets, and some people are taking these injections? Okay, so that's all because of this pancreas. Okay, and all these glands are common in both man and woman except one. What are they means? So here, in case of a female, we can find an ovary, and from this ovary we can get two types of hormones called estrogen and progesterone. Already we learned that. While from the man we get testis, and this testis release a hormone called testosterone, and these two are mainly responsible for the development of secondary sexual characters, right? And already we studied what are secondary sexual characters in a male and a female like this, right? And all these secondary sexual characters are because of these two endocrine glands, ovary and testis. Okay, so this is the endocrine system. And now let's come to the next topic, that is adolescence and health. It is very, very important to be healthy and fit at any stage of life. That means from birth to death, we're passing through different stages, like early childhood, the next childhood, the next middle age, the next adult, the next old, like this. Okay, but at any stage, we like to be healthy. Say now and then, whenever you are not feeling well, or when you get some fever or something, immediately what we do? Whether we settle at home and thinking that it will be as usual. No, immediately we consult the proper physician or a doctor, and we take medication to become healthy again. Alright. So, in order to become healthy and fit, we need what? We need a proper nutrition and hygiene. Proper nutrition and hygiene. What is meant by nutrition? Here, nutritious means most of the people think that we have to take a very tasty food like this. But nutritious means the food which contains all the nutrients like the carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, refuges, and the water. When all these components, already in the 7th class, first lesson, food components, we learned about this lesson, right? So when all these components are present in the diet, then we call that as a nutritious diet or a balanced diet like this. And even hygiene is also very, very important. Hygiene means maintenance of proper cleanliness. That means we need to maintain personal hygiene. Personal hygiene means daily taking bath and wearing washed and cleaned clothes. The next proper trimming of nails, the next hair, and the next taking hot food items, and then keeping our surroundings clean and keeping our home clean. Okay, all these things come under hygiene. So when we take this proper nutrition and hygiene, then automatically we can maintain this proper health and we can be fit. Got it? And during this adolescence, what happens means we can find a maximum growth and development. Maximum growth and development. Even this growth and development occurs at a very, very faster rate. Okay, that's why it is very, very important for adolescents to be careful about their health and hygiene. Got it? So whenever you are healthy at adolescence period, then in the future you will be very, very healthy. Okay, that's why adolescents must take care of their health and hygiene. Okay, so now let's come to the next topic, that is then a balanced diet. Already in 7th class you deal with this. What is meant by balanced diet? And thali means what? We can find a big plate, and that plate is filled with different varieties of food. Okay, but don't think that balanced diet means only that thali and so balanced diet is very, very costly. Alright, so whenever we have the awareness, we know how to prepare the balanced diet with the simple items. Also, we can make a balanced diet. We can make our normal food as a balanced diet. So when we call the food as a balanced, means already told you, when the food contains all the components like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, fibers, and water. So when all these components are present, and that to be when they are present in the required quantities in our body, then we call that food as a balanced diet. Generally, what type of food we take routinely in our daily day? That means we take what? Rice and dal. When the teacher put a question in a classroom, what you have taken for your today's lunch, then most of the children, they say that dal rice. That means generally we go for this dal, and in that dal we use different types of condiments, like say this some vegetables. The next dal means what? Which contains heavy quantities of proteins, right? So even with this rice and the dal, here you can find the picture. See, so here, what is this? This is our routine diet, and in some areas they use this rotis or chapatis. When we go to this western states, west, then we can find this roti. But in South India, what we do, we like to take this rice, and the next dal, and of course one fried items, and the next some raw vegetables like this. Okay, and even we take this rasam and even this curd, and after the completion of this diet, we like to take fruit. Mostly which fruit? That's a banana. Okay. So whether this is a special food or a normal food, a normal food. So even whenever we have the knowledge, then with the simple items we can make the food what balanced. Okay, and even we need to take different varieties of these vegetables. Okay, we should not go for the same vegetables. Daily we have to change the vegetables. So whatever the vitamins and minerals we can find in them, all these things can be obtained by our body. And even what is this? This is milk. The parents are asking their children daily to take milk, to take a milk in the morning. That means before you come to the school. Why means milk is a complete food. Milk is a complete food. Complete food means, so whatever the substances we need, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, all these things, all the components are present in milk. Naturally milk, then meat and egg. Okay, that's why when you observe this diet of midday meals in the government schools, daily the government is providing this egg, right? Why means egg is also a complete food. So what are the examples for a complete food means? Milk, egg and meat. Okay, so these three. And now let's come to our topic. And even we must take this fruits, different varieties of fruits. Okay, some of the children are avoiding the fruits. They don't like to take the fruits. But being as a parents and the teachers, what we need to do, we must make them to know what is the importance of fruits. Okay, so daily it is better to take one or two types of fruits in our daily routine life, right? And even iron, iron builds blood. Blood is very, very important for our body. When we have sufficient amount of blood, correct amount of blood, then automatically we will be healthy. And where you can find a more amount of iron means in the leafy vegetables, jaggery, meat, citrus fruits, and even amla. In all these things, we can find a huge amount of iron. So here you can find the picture. See, what is this means here? We can find different varieties of leafy vegetables. Whatever the curry we are preparing, in that curry we must add a kind of a leafy vegetable. Then it is very, very good for our health. And you see, these are different varieties of fruits. Okay, daily we must take a kind of a fruit. And what is this? Jaggery, bellam we call that as. Okay, and even it contains a huge amount of iron. And these are different varieties of citrus fruits. And this is what? Amla. This contains rich quantities of vitamin C. And this is meat. Okay, meat means any type of meat, like a chicken, mutton, or a fish, like this. Got it? So by taking all these things, we get nutritious food. Okay, and then because of this rapid growth and development, adolescents are very, very hungry. They like to take more amount of food, and even they take the food several times. Have you seen that? Whenever the school is over, when you go to the home, immediately you put the question, "Mom, is there something to eat?" Okay, if your mother prepared something, that's okay. Otherwise, what happens? Then immediately you fight with your mother, and you get some money, and you go to outside, and you like to take this outside foods. Okay, but it is not at all good, because this hunger, these adolescents, they like to eat this chips packets, or packed or tinned snacks. Okay, and even this outside food materials. Like here you can see the picture. Most of these adolescents, they like to take this packed food items, like different types of snacks, and then canned foods or tinned foods. And what are these different types of charts like a pani puri, then there's charts and all these things. But of course they are very very attractive and they are tasty, but it is better not to take them daily. Okay, whenever we are completely depending upon them, we are taking them just like a food materials, then what happens means we will get different varieties of health issues. What are they means? The first one, we get obesity. Obesity means the children become very very stout, and even we get mouth and stomach ulceration. We get some ulcers, wounds in our mouth and stomach, and even with more sugar levels increases, and even BP also increases. Blood pressure, BP means blood pressure, right? And here you can see the picture, right? See, what is this? When we're completely depending upon this outside food items, then automatically the children will become like this, obese children. Okay, and when you become obese, wherever you go, you becomes a toy. Okay, that means all the people, they tease that obese child, and so they don't like to go outside, and because of that frustration, they like to eat more and more again, so that the complications becomes more and more. And here, what is this? What the doctor is doing? The doctor is checking the BP. That means here the BP increases. Okay, and here can you see this area? What is this? Here we can find some white colored dots. Have you seen that? What is this? This is a mouth ulcer. And when you get this mouth ulcer, you could not able to eat this food. Okay, and even if the food is a little bit hot, you cannot eat, right? And even inside the stomach also, the ulcer will develop like this, and later these ulcers will lead into cancers. Okay, so that's why it is better to completely avoid junk food. All the people are saying junk food. What is meant by junk food? Now, have you seen last week Enadu magazine, Sunday magazine? So in that, a cover page on a completely junk food is given. What is meant by junk food, and why we should not take this junk food like this. Okay, and after the completion of this, I'm going to forward them also, right? And you please go through them. Okay, then what's the next topic? That is cleanliness. Already I told that during this adolescence, the glands present in the skin. What are the glands present in skin? There is a sweat glands and sebaceous glands. Yeah, both these two glands, they become very very active, and they increase their secretions. From sweat glands we get what? Sweat. And from sebaceous glands we get what? We get an oily substance that is called sebum. So when the sebum and sweat becomes more and more, because of that our body will get a distinct odor. What is meant by odor? Smell. That means our body releases one kind of smell because of this over secretions of sweat and oil. Okay, that's why it is better to take a bath at least twice a day. Mostly many of the children before they come to the school, they take the bath, that's it. Okay, but they never go to this bath again. But it is not at all good. Even after the completion of schooling, when you go to the school, at the time it is better to take the bath second time. Okay, if it is a summer, it is better to take 3 or 4 times, if according to your possibility, right? Okay, and because of this taking bath several times, you can avoid this kind of smell from your body. Okay, and during this bathing, all parts of the body and inner veins should be washed and cleaned well. Okay, especially this inner veins, daily we have to wash them with the hot water. The next, by even while washing, it is better to add some antibiotic solutions, like say this Dettol, Savlon, like this, and they should be dried under the sun. Okay, so by means these undergarments, they absorb more and more sweat and sebum. Okay, that's why we must wash them separately. That means in hot water. Got it? Okay, suppose if we are not taking a proper bath and you are not cleaning your innerwear regularly, then what happens? Then automatically you may get different types of infections, especially this bacterial infections and fungal infections. Okay, that's why to keep our skin healthy, it is better to take a bath minimum twice a day, and even the means we should be very careful at the time of bathing, and all the inner garments must be washed in a separate way, right? And especially the girls at the time of this menstrual cycle, they should be very careful regarding this disposable napkins, right? Okay, and then under NPEGEL. So it is abbreviation is not given in your textbook. You please note it down in your textbook. What is NPEGEL? Means National Policy of Education for girls at elementary level. Got it? National Policy of Education for girls at elementary level. So what is the main aim of this program? Means, see, according to this, that means this sanitary napkins are available in the schools. So the girls who are facing this kind of problem, so instead of bunking the school, so they can attend the school, and if they need any napkins, they can consult that corresponding teacher, and then they can take these napkins. Okay, that's the main goal. I told you already, because there's a problem, some girls, they avoid schooling, and when they continue the same thing, then what happens? They lag in their education, and so that they cannot get good opportunities in the future. So in order to avoid all these problems, especially towards the girls, our government, only AP government has taken this step. Okay, this NPEGEL, it's a very important, actually. Okay, then the next topic, there is physical exercise. So for the adolescents, there's a walking and playing outdoor games. Walking and playing outdoor games, like say there's running, jogging, then cycling, then games like Coco, football. All these things are very important for the adolescents. Okay, that means even nowadays, because there's a busy schedule, and now the children became very busy with their education, and they don't know where the ground is even. Okay, in some schools they don't have any ground, and they don't know anything about the games and the sports. Okay, simply they go to the school and they come to the home and they sleep. That's it. Okay, but for adolescents, there's a walking or a jogging, and even going for games is very important. So then only their body will become fit and healthy. So to keep the body fit and healthy, these physical activities are very important. So because these physical activities, what happens means we get better health. That means those children will be very healthy, and they get sound sleep. Sound sleep means not making the noise after sleeping. Sound sleep means good sleep. They get the sleep very easily. Nowadays the children are facing the problem. They could not able to sleep from time to time. That means why? What is the reason? Means because this mobiles, watching TV, and the next playing video games, all these things. Their eyes, they get a strain, and so that they could not get proper sleep, and even mental peace. They will get good mental peace. Correct. So for all these things, it is better. Even the parents should not force the children always to come and read like this. Okay, but now and then, that means regularly, daily, at least half an hour to 1 hour, we must encourage the children to go outside and take a walk, or participate in some games like this. If games are not possible, at least walking is very important. or at least that means the parents, if a parents are having this walking habit, then they can ask their children, come on, you two come with us, and we go for walking like this. That is a good habit, right? Okay, then but nowadays most of the children, they could not able to go for walking and this outdoor games, but instead of that, they're simply settle at home, and the time pass by watching TV, and the next working on a computers means like computer games, and the next video games like this. Because of this, what happens? Automatically they become very drowsy means they become very dull, and even they become obese means they become very fatty. Okay, I means no, they're not giving any work to their body. Okay, that's why they cannot keep the concentration towards their studies. Okay, then automatically they get very less marks in their exams. Okay, and here during this adolescence, already we know this, we can find physical and behavioral changes. Okay, because of these changes, so these adolescents, they sometimes they become tensed, and they get confused, and even they feel insecure. Okay, that's why what they do, that means they do not like to discuss all these changes with their parents, but with whom they discuss? With the friends, with the peer. But even the friends also, they don't know exactly. Okay, that's why they may give us some wrong feeling, wrong information. Okay, if you have this problem, what they do? Okay, you take this medicine, you take this drug, then you will be okay like this. But without doctor prescription, we should not use any drugs. Here, drugs means not any other things. It's a medicine. So if a doctor is prescribing to you, then okay. But you should not take the medicines by the advice of your friends or others. Okay. So in such case, simply you have to say no to this drugs. Okay. So whenever you have all these problems like tension, the next insecurity, and the next say this confusion like this, it is better to discuss with the elders. Elders means your seniors or your parents or your teachers, or if you have any problem, then you have to consult the doctor. Correct? So this is the importance of this physical exercises in our daily life. Okay, children. So what you have to do, at least if the games are not possible, so at least you must go for a walking or a jogging, either in the morning or the evening, right children? Okay, but don't stay at home and don't get addicted to these video games, right? Okay, now come to the next topic. So this nowadays the youth means say this 15 years and below 15 years, these children are addicting to use this tobacco products like say this gutka, cigarettes, then cigar, BD, honey, and all these things. Okay, so whenever they are using these tobacco products at the age of 15, then what means automatically their internal parts of the body will be totally damaged. So here in our state, that means both AP and Telangana together, how many children are using or addicted to this tobacco products means there is a 57.57 lakhs. 57.57 lakhs. That means 68% of our population get affected by this. Okay, that's why now the government of AP have banned this tobacco products. Not cigarettes, but the remaining products are completely banned in order to save this young generation of our state. Okay, and whenever these children, these tobacco addicted children, they come to the age of 30 years, then by the time, so their all internal parts are totally damaged, and they get different types of health issues, and sometimes even that leads to death also. death also. Okay, that's why it is better not to use this tobacco products, and it is better to keep away the people who are having this kind of habits, right? Okay, so we should be very careful towards this healthy habits. Okay, and here we can find a very famous psychiatrist. There is a Stanley Hall, and he told that this adolescence is the age of stress and strain because of this physical changes and also these behavioral changes. The people in adolescence, they feel very stressed and even strain. Okay, and so for that, see, there's a proper guidance is needed for this adolescence, from whom the parents, from our teachers, from parents, elders, and even to this even from doctors. Okay, and especially the parents are very important at this age. So the parents should not behave like a parents, but they should behave as friends at this age. Okay, so whenever we clarify all the doubts that they get during this adolescence, then they won't feel any tension and all these things. Okay, so with this, whenever we can clear all these issues, then that leads to happy and a meaningful life. Right, children? Okay, and with this, we come to the end of this topic, this lesson. Okay, and here you can find the pictures. So here, what are these? These are different varieties of gutka and pan masala, and then this is what? This is a cigarette, and here we can find the lady who is using this bidi, right? Okay, and when I go to this North India, and even there's a Guntur like this, there it is very common that ladies also uses this tobacco products, right? And here you can find the picture. Who is this? This is the psychiatrist. There is a Stanley Hall who told that adolescence is the state of stress and strain. Right, children? Okay, and with this we come to the end of this lesson. Okay, that's all for today, and have a good day. Thank you.